All right, welcome back to Black Lodge Trivia Night and our Lord of the Rings Online book quest run. We're up to part 57, 58, 59, somewhere in that ballpark. We're getting up there, and we are continuing Volume 4, Book 7. If you remember last time, we got through, I think, about half, maybe a little over half of Volume 4, Book 7, which is the aftermath of the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. And you know, I didn't necessarily love everything about Minas Tirith. The battle for the Pelennor Fields had some technical glitches. And, but also some really strong emotional moments where a lot of our companions over the recent chapters basically all got killed. So let's continue with Book 7, which at the moment we are finding the Ranger encampment at Henneth Enun. In North Ithilien, which I think I had accidentally sort of went up there. It's up here, I think. But we have some quests to do along the way. We were clearing branches, we were killing 20 of this and destroying skull piles, and so there's just some stuff we were doing along the way. I don't know. This was the Orcish axe. Right. This was an encampment we could clear out. We had to break some orcish axes, sort of side quests, reclaiming Ithilien. You know, and it was just one of those things, because in the last one I was like, maybe I just like the part of my issue is that I'm just sort of speed running parts of the game that aren't meant to be played that way, and I should just get back to taking my time a little bit. And go from there, and maybe that would sort of reestablish some of the enjoyment, but also I also think just my tastes are slightly incompatible, or my skill levels are slightly below what it takes to navigate a three-dimensional map. So I don't remember. We've got to crush skulls, 12 of these. Okay, I mean, that's not crazy. How many skulls do we need to do? 8. Again, sort of this quest I like the idea of, because, you know, as I said a couple times, like, the Battle of the Pelennor Fields is a turning point. Like, in the stories, that's where we've sort of held off the worst of the worst, and it's time to start turning the tides. Now, the literal story is actually, we need to go do a suicide mission to buy Frodo time. But there is a path to victory. As grim as it might seem, in place of our heroes. And so does that give you a little more hope? And so the idea of, like, we're pushing back, we're turning the tide. I like the idea of, like, go kick some ass and take these ruins, and, you know, it's time to start. They're on their heels for the first time, and it's time to take the initiative. Even though, if we're looking at literally what I'm doing, it's all the same. But as I've said, you know, part of what I really enjoy about this game is the idea that it feels like I'm in Middle Earth, right? And so I do a lot with headcanon, because, you know, it's easy to imagine, to suspend the disbelief and to imagine, like, hey, I'm a character in this saga. Or is this just a cry for help? No, I'm literally in the game. If I die in the game, I die in real life. Which means I'm immortal, because I've died a million times stupidly. Also, not gonna lie, I really enjoy running around ruins in Middle Earth. You know, what was the, North Downs had some ruins, I think. Or is that just orc camps? I don't know. There's even, like, going all the way back to, like, Archit. You know, there are, like, ruins next door to the town that had some enemies. Yeah, it's just, I've always enjoyed that. Oops, got some status effects going. Let me clear those, not paying too close of attention to what's going on in the game. You know, and I'll try and remember to link to it, but by the time this actually goes up, compared to when I'm actually recording it, the video... I was watching an Aubrey the Weird One video where she was talking about some of the updates coming to Lord of the Rings Online. And I think one of the things she mentioned was that there's going to be continued improvements to the 4K interface, which makes me happy because it seems like it's kept my settings the last couple of times. For a little while there, it seemed like it either reset or everything got really small again, but so far I think it's been a little better. The main issues are I haven't clicked through everything to see, like, is it actually clicking where the mouse is, which was an issue at the outset, but it's good to know, like, they understand that, like, you know, it needs tweaking, they're still working on it. But again, by the time this comes out, that video will be months old, so... I'm gonna drop some restorative shield. There we go. Finish that guy off. And part of what the tough thing about when, you know, you're hitting like something like Minas Tirith, which I you know didn't love in the moment, etc., is that what I genuinely love, what I was just saying about like being in Middle Earth and stuff like that, is, you know, I'm not looking for like a Souls challenge, right? I'm not looking for tons. Like, this is just sort of like a mood and a vibe and just sort of chill and so, you know, maybe that makes me sound lazy, I don't know, but I just, you know, like, I just want to sit back and, like, I want this to be relaxing, you know. That's what I've always loved about this game, is that there's a relaxing quality to it, you know, just being in the game and ticking away, seeing the story, seeing the sights, and then when it's like, how the fuck do I find my way up to this guy? It's going to be to level 2, or how do I get down to that part of the sewers and Moria, you know, then it's just like, oh god, all right. Like, that's kind of okay in the DLC for Elden Ring. It's not quite what I'm coming to Lord of the Rings Online for. That a scholar, okay, so you know, and also one of the questions I was asking is, like, I obviously, because I know the stories, I'm getting near the end of the main story somehow, one way or another. I don't know how long it's going to take in game, but I was wondering, like, you know, what do I do after that? But part of me is like, you know, maybe what I do is I just slow down a little bit. There's no rush. You know, if it takes me 6 parts to get through a book, you know, who cares? I do know, like, the level cap is like 150, 160, so there's definitely a lot of room there. Maybe don't hit the level cap with the story. I don't know. Or maybe I just don't understand what happens, how much there is after the main story to keep going with. They were pretty close on the axes. We're pretty close on on these dudes. Okay, so let's get this going. I'm gonna pop restorative shield so that I can take the hits while I build up bleeds, which, there we go. First one's up. Second one's up. Third one's up. Now let's see if we can get the light damage over time. I think it's these. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. So you see we got 6 damage over time. Let's do a little healing. I wanted to do those damage over time just to help my output a little bit, because since I'm focused on healing, obviously I'm chipping away, but it's really not meant to take down an enemy quickly. So, okay. One more. Let's take this guy out. What I should really do is I should research, like, you know, obviously it's good to get bleeds, damage over time, blah, blah, blah. Again, I don't know if light damage hurts these guys more because they're so evil. But, okay, let's finish that. 153,000. Holy shit. All right. I don't think I can do this axe there. Okay, whoops. Okay, so we need to find 1 more axe, 3 more skulls. Okay. Part of, you know, going back to the weird ones, I feel bad. I mean, that's her channel name. You know, I don't want to call her the weird, like, but I don't know her. So anyway, part of her update video was talking about how, you know, there's things for the 19th anniversary of this game. Like, holy shit. Like, 1, I'm getting old, but 2, like, what an achievement. What an achievement. How many games do you know that last, I mean, obviously World of Warcraft's been around since 2004, but 20 years almost for Lord of the Rings Online. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's amazing. And, you know, as I've said, I've played it since the beginning. I'm 50 years old, so I've been playing this since I was 31. I've been playing this for as long as I've had kids and been a father. Like, you know, like that's the kind of thing that this is. Like, I can't remember. I think this game came out right before my first was born. So, you know, like, obviously it's not as impactful or momentous or important as being a father. Or maybe it's more so. No, it's not, obviously. But, like, that's how much of a window of my life this game has occupied. And, that's incredible. And honestly, there's not too many games that I would have been glad to spend this much time with. There are other games that I play off and on. Obviously, like I still bust out Darklands, obviously there's a bunch of sessions of that on the channel, but that's really sporadic. This is one I've been truly chipping away at consistently the whole time. Like, even if it's not like a daily thing, like every couple months I'll check in, like Darklands, like before I jumped onto the channel, I hadn't played it in a decade. It had been a while, I think. I don't remember actually. Maybe I went into it during the run and I had a clearer memory of how long it had been since I last played, but it had been a while. But this one has been on my hard drive, getting fired up, checking in, chipping away since launch. And yeah, it does not feel like time ill spent. You know, it's been a blast, been a great time. I'm wondering if I have to potentially take out some people here to get to the last couple. Yeah, so I don't know how many people at Standing Stone Games are part of the original crew, if anybody, but whoever is out there, you know, and yeah, some I sort of know, but to the people who are out there who worked on this game, like, seriously, congratulations. Like, you've made, not everybody gets to make something that, you know, lasts, and I know, you know, who knows, maybe it all implodes next week, but even so, 20 years for any video game, you know, whoops, let's get some this going, is tremendous. So it's worth celebrating regardless. So even 19 years, who knows if it even makes it to 20. I hope it does, but obviously. Now, having said that, I might not make it through this fight because I'm not paying attention to my health. There we go. So yeah, my fear is that the last couple of things are like near captains or 3 people guarding it or whatever, and I don't know. I don't know if there's a clean way to get to them. Usually the game just lets things respawn and then you can click them a second time, and I was kind of hoping that's how it worked, but one of the other things that, you know, she was talking about in her video was that, you know, like at one point she said, yeah, and they're adding a new class. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I did not expect. And then it was like a new, like, player versus player class. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, that's all well and good. You know, maybe to their credit, maybe they're like, yeah, maybe we try and revitalize that, give it some love, see if we can get it back on its feet. Maybe people actually play that. I have no idea. I've never, and I would never, you know, that's not why I'm here. So it's not something I would ever engage with. But maybe it's a big deal and they just haven't found the right, and they're trying to find the right, like, forces of evil kinds of characters that people want to play. I don't know. Maybe it's populated pretty well. Maybe it's clear what people don't want, and you see like a bunch of the same enemy, everybody's running around the same thing because that's what they actually want to play. I have no idea. If they ever added another player class, I wonder what it'd be. I feel like they've done a good job sort of capturing the classes with the first round, like Captain, Hunter, Thief, all those I feel like were, you know, Champion, Minstrel, those all felt like really good thematic additions. I think the Warden is a good thematic addition. I think the Rune Master is not. And I only think that because this is supposed to be such a low magic setting, in my mind, that I felt like it's tough because, you know, people want to play wizards. So I get it. But that was sort of my approach, is that the Lore Master felt like it was going a little bit too far. Not the Lore Master, the Rune Keeper. Maybe going a little bit too far in terms of how much magic there was in the world. The Bjorning thematically obviously makes sense, but that felt a little more fan servicey because from like a narrative perspective, I feel like they're supposed to be extremely rare. Then, you know, you get to the brawler and you get to the... I don't know what the class is called, but it's basically like you're like a duelist. You get like a little rapier kind of thing. I think they introduced it with one of the expansions with like what's this guy gonna go down? Like I want to open the map, but I don't trust myself not to die in the process, because you can see my gambit now is just a train wreck of... Let's get this under control here a little bit. I think, okay, so yeah, when they introduced the Umbar? Harad, yeah. So I think when you do this one, there was some swashbuckling vibes given off by one of the... And so again, that's not something I've ever encountered in Lord of the Rings Online. Lord of the Rings, in Middle-earth, in my experience with it, that kind of swashbuckling class. But I mean, again, I think at some point you're just giving players something else to try. But like the brawler and the swashbuckler, the runekeeper, and the Bjorning are all classes I don't know if I would ever play. One, because I don't play the game enough to have 35 alts go deep. And two, because, yeah, again, thematically, it just doesn't click. The Guardian, the ones I've tried and really liked, you know, the Guardian, the Burglar. The Hunter fulfills a lot of, like, you know, the typical very young fantasy of like, oh, I want to be Legolas. But I didn't, but I was very bad at it. I still like the idea of it, and I wish I were better because, again, it's the most typical power fantasy, but it's interesting because, you know, I think Aragorn they kind of think of as like the captain. I don't know who the champion. Is that Gimli? I don't know. Dwarven Guardian, but like Gimli doesn't sit there and like, I'll take the blows while he's trying to get kill counts and DPS, you know, so. You know, sometimes they sort of put on the map where things are. Sometimes they just put a big blue dot, and I wish this was one of the times where they got a little more specific so I could... I think in the inner chamber there's going to be like 3 enemies, a signature, and 2 regulars. They're blocking... Oh, I only need skull piles. Okay, so I've got the axes, so I thought there was a skull pile there. I think that's part of the issue is I'm looking for axes as well. I just need skull piles. And I think I could take a group of 3 with restorative shield and all the healing stuff. I think I could survive it. If I could just find it. And I think, you know, I was talking about how, like, you know, by the time this goes up, there's a real delta between when I record it and when I put it up. This game might actually be a lot easier to chip away at because I can, you know, I can do it in chunks, an hour here, an hour there, and stitch it together. Because, you know, in my sort of new position, my start time is late enough in the morning that I get a little bit of time to myself. A little bit more time to myself than I used to get in the mornings. Oops, let's heal that effect. Okay, no skull there, but I think that's sort of what I'm looking for, is I thought there was a group somewhere in here. So then what I gotta figure out is, I really enjoy doing Skyrim on camera, so that's the one that's gonna start proving tricky. So I'm kind of curious, given how this game works, like, am I going to be at the battle where we sort of make sort of like the impossible stand to buy Frodo time? Like, there is no way that I should see Frodo toss the ring into the volcano. None. So if they find an excuse to put me there, literally, I could see them doing one of those things where, like, you know, assume the role of Frodo now. So I was killing time in this room, but I don't see the skull, so this isn't the right one with the group. And a little bit behind here on the morale race. Let's see if we can up that. Get back ahead of that curve. Okay. Still no skull. Let's see. I mean, it is... Okay, so it is a little specific, so I'm way off course. So let me get back. It's in the northern part of the map. Let me hook around the outside. Northern part of the ruins, I mean. So let me hook around the outside. So I don't need to be wandering quite this aimlessly. My apologies for that. What's great about, this little section of CRPGs I'm doing is they're both sort of chill vibe kind of games, right? Like, Skyrim, for the most part, it's not hard. And this is definitely not hard either. And they're just both great games to, like, you're soaking in it kind of worlds. And that's been really, really a joy on some levels. Okay, so it's in here somewhere. So they were being pretty specific. I just need to figure out where. Yeah, minstrel. I probably said a minstrel. Sometimes that intrigues me. I don't know. Is it that interesting outside of a group when you're the healer? Do they make it interesting somehow? Like the burglar, I can clearly find a path to. Oh, that I want to do. Hunters, you know, Captain never really did it for me, where you're like yelling at somebody to get them to do your bidding. The champion, I got really bored with. The guardian, I've enjoyed, but I don't know if I would enjoy 150 levels of it the way I would for a warden and I believe a burglar. The hunter, you know, you just melt things, but then I would probably die so much that I think I would get annoyed by that. Okay, so it's saying it's here. I don't know if it's here or below. Can I get below? Is it just wrong? Yeah, I don't know, Just don't know. I tell you, this is a little irritating if you're gonna give me an indicator on the map, but then it's gonna be incorrect. Oh shit, here we go. I'm gonna pop this. I do like what just happened with that fight, where I came in sort of low on morale and then I leave basically fully healed. Like I'm sure other classes can do that, but that was always one of the things I loved about the Warden, is just like, yeah, if I take this approach, I can manage things to that degree. And I'm sure, like, Runekeepers, when they can go back and forth between attacks and defense, blah, 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 but I really... Anyway, it just reinforces my mindset that the warden is incredibly flexible and like that kind of Swiss Army knife I once talked about. There we go. Okay, so I've got it's 2 piles of skulls here. It's gonna be... Huh. Question is, will I reveal myself when I start to activate the pile of skulls? Or will it let me activate the pile of skulls and then I'll pop out of the reveal and then I'll get jumped? Let's see how this works. Nope. Interrupted. Okay, so let's get restorative shield going. Let's start seeing if I can live. I'm gonna focus on the captain, because if he's gonna do healing bullshit, I probably shouldn't. You know what, let me switch back. Because this guy's almost gone. See how fast he melts my morale. I was in decent shape. So I'm gonna use that net advantage to pile on some damage over time until he knocks me down and catches up. One of my bleeds didn't take. I don't know which one. Wasn't that one. Okay, so I was right about... Let's get out of here. I was right about it was in a room surrounded by pack. I just couldn't find the pack. Okay, so let's, we need to get out of here. Careful steps not refreshed yet, so let me see if I can just get around and out. I think I can. Okay. So we're making our way north, which is where the book quest takes us. I don't know. Again, we're here. We're trying to go here. Control the hilltop. Supposed to assess the enemy's presence. I don't know how to do that. There's no enemy presence here. There's a lot of animals. Heavy shadow hangs over you, but it cannot spy what might have cast it. Okay. I think I did what I need to do. Let me... Okay, so I think it took it off the list. But, yeah. Well, let me take a look at the map. So I think this is the other 2 patrol points, which I've sort of blown past. But we'll see if we get back to it. If not, whatever. So let's keep going. Oh shit, how am I gonna So it's it's early spring at the time of this recording, and it's at the point of the year where I have to start worrying about the people's lawn services. Is that coming through on the recording, which also then means I need to worry about, do I need to go mow my lawn? Looking outside, there's some like those like wild onions or whatever they are sprouting up. I don't know if there's animals. Sometimes we have we have rabbits that live in our property. I don't know if they eat that stuff. I know that they appreciate it when you don't mow the lawn so much. They have more to nibble on, daffodils or whatever, but I also don't want to start mowing the lawn. 'Cause I'm lazy. Like a champ. So yeah, I don't know if it was the last session or the session before, I accidentally teleported to, I think, where I'm headed. Which I didn't mean to do. I meant to teleport. I didn't realize I was going to somewhere I hadn't actually traveled to yet. I was watching a video, because when I'm recording games, I also sometimes watch videos and see, what other people, because I don't want to just do exactly this. Whatever. I'm just playing, so who cares? But sometimes I check out others. Okay, how did they set this up? How did they record? What was the sort of technical approach that they used, and is there something to learn from that? But one person was playing Skyrim, and I forgot my point. Well, one, it's interesting, there are still people, a ranger calls out to you. There's still people, it's really cool just how much Skyrim gets played. Stay where you are, Warden, and tell me your purpose in Ithilien at once. You inform the ranger that you are a friend of Anborn, Mablung, and Damrod. You then tell him that you sought to join Thurendal at Henethanun and became separated. Okay, let's accept. We're gonna sit. He's gonna blindfold us. Anyway, the point, well. It was talking about how, it was a game that you just Skyrim was a game you just sort of immersed yourself in, the way I was saying stuff about here. I'll never remember the video. But I wonder if, what made me curious about it was, was that the first time a lot of, the generation younger than me, that was the first game that did that for them? The way I got that from Ultima 5, and then maybe later Darklands, and, I wonder, Ultima 7, that was a little different. And that's what makes Skyrim so special, is because for the next generation, that was the one that said, hey, I just want to be in this game. Okay, so you informed Dornak that you heard a few chuckles. I did not realize so many of my brethren knew of you and your deeds. They think me a bit of a fool for taking such precautions. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. There's who we need to speak to. For Through the Gardens.
This land is scarred, but we may heal it yet.
Oh. Agility or might? I'm gonna go with might. And then again, it's the thing where I don't know if I can... What's this? You know, I've got equipment that I can't put on until I'm level 105, which is not that far away, but I wonder if at some point it's just be like, yeah, I've also... you've already got stuff that's better. If I can find those pants that I just got. And they weren't pants, they were gloves. Again, level 105. I think I checked the Forge Master last time. I'm not quite there. Warden of Henneth Anun, which is, I think, where I was headed. Okay, it's good to have you among us once again. Now, I confess, I don't... like, they're talking like there's familiarity. I confess I don't remember if Host of the West seeks to Black Gate. My men and I know the lands well. We can teach you much of how to gain advantage over our foes. So they're going to help us get to the Black Gate. Collect King's Foil. Sure. Okay, much of your discussion, and he speaks true. We won a great victory, but it's certain that the hardest days of this war lie ahead. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to have you on my side once more. Yeah, again, I feel bad. I don't know how long it's been. But these names aren't jumping out at me.
Though I know Aragorn not, the ranger will not reach his strength.
Okay, I've learned some of the enemy's plans in Ithilien and would be glad to share them with you. If Anborn and Mablung have not already asked you something else. Okay.
The enemy gains ground, yet you trouble me with your trifles.
Okay, you're on the front lines now, Black Lodge. Let us hope you are skilled as they say, because the aftermath of the Great Battle has changed much. Yes, okay, so we're basically, you know... Yeah, we're on the... Like they said, we're on the front lines. The whole time we've been getting to... You know, you start in Bree and the Shire, and you get to Angmar, but that's, you know, like a side thing. That's not quite the front line. And then finally... Even Helm's Deep isn't like the Sauron front lines, right? But you get to Minas Tirith and the Battle of the Pelennor Fields, and you're there. That is Sauron's thrust. That's the real deal. Sell that. I think one thing, I don't know if you... I think I've tried this before. I wish you could go into your packs while you are in the inventory, because I think I have a bunch of stuff there that I could sell. Just to clear the space. And a lot of level 105. This one... Huh, why am I not using... the other one? I should switch that. That one I don't know what to do with that one. It gives you essences, but it's a little light on the other stuff. The other two rings have like a little more... They're a little more well-rounded. I'm gonna sell it just so I'm not worried about it later. Yeah, because if you go into your packs here, I've got like... Not that one. Junk. You know, I could... There's a way to pull that out. I don't know. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Maybe that I was just maybe just pulls from it and it don't even need to worry about it. Like, don't worry about it, man. No, I've got all this. This is what I mean, right? Like, put this back. Sell all this just to get it out of my inventory, but anyway. Yeah, was this the thing that was better? It was. Let's put that on. And then let me, I think I have a couple of reclaim tracery reclamation scrolls, so let's use this. No, not on that. I was hoping to reclaim whatever was on here. That's locked. Let's get rid of it. Take an essence reclamation scroll. That's what I was just looking for a second ago. And I want to do it on the tough jacket of Anorian Justice. If it'll let me. Tough jacket of Anorian Justice. Let's apply it there. Yeah, let's get those off. And now what I can do is I can sell that jacket and not worry about it. Okay, anyway. You wish to know of the strange company that passed through Athelion? In truth, I wish I had more to tell. Few among our members... Okay. I can describe what I beheld during their time here, but you will have to speak with others if you desire to know more. Shall not soon forget the night we encountered the halflings. Okay, so they encountered, Are these the rangers that stumble across Frodo and Sam at one point? I don't know if they rescue them from somewhere. Oh, another player, level 109 hunter. Very nice. Well met. Yeah, let's hear the tale.
Suspicious of an unquenched fire in the distance, Faramir led Unborn and the Rangers to a campsite where they discovered neither man nor orc. And discovered only a smouldering fire and none nearby to tend it.
Here's the source of the smoke. Whoever or whatever made this fire will be nigh at hand. Search the ferns and trap it, then we will learn what manner of creature it is. And whatever it knows.
It was then two small creatures leapt from the brush and raised their weapons against us.
What do we have here? These are not orcs. Elves? They cannot be elves, for it is said that elves are fair to look upon. Okay, just taking shots. Not fair to look upon indeed. When you're done, maybe you should say who you are and why you won't let two weary travelers get some rest. Samwise taking charge. My name is Faramir, Captain of Gondor. Ithilien has no travelers, only servants of the Dark Tower or the White. We are servants of neither, and though Captain Faramir says otherwise, travelers we are. Then declare yourselves and your errand at once. This is no time for riddles. Where is the third member of your company? The third member. You know the one, the skulking creature, some stealthy breed of orc, perhaps? He gave us the slip by some trickery. He is only a chance companion. We met along the road, so I cannot answer for his whereabouts. But please spare him if you come upon him. He is only a wretched gangrel creature under my care for a time. As for us, we are simple hobbits from the Shire, a land far from here. I am Frodo, son of Drogo, and here is Samwise, son of Hamfast, a hobbit in my service. We have walked far, our path taking us from Rivendell. We set out with 7 companions, 1 fell in Moria, and the rest we left at Parth Galen. Our company consisted of an elf, a dwarf, 2 more of my kin, and 2 men. Aragorn the Ranger and Boromir, who came from Minas Tirith. You know, they're not keeping anything close to the vest, for a secret mission. They don't know who these people are. Boromir. You came with Boromir, son of Denethor? That is strange news indeed, if true. What had you to do with him? Speak swiftly. Is the riddle that Boromir brought to Rivendell known to you? Is the riddle that Boromir brought to Rivendell known to you? Seek for the sword that was broken. In Imladris it dwells. Yes, those words are known to us. It is Aragorn who bears the sword that was broken. As for the halflings and the rhyme, we are they. That is plain to see, but what is Isildur's bane? That is hidden. We must learn more of this, but now is not the time or place. You were in great peril and would have been caught in a hard battle had we not come upon you when we did. Mablung and Damrod will guard you for your own good and mine. If I survive, I will speak more with you upon my return. I'd forgotten that Faramir was with the Rangers that found him. Farewell, whatever you think, I swear that we are friends to all foes of the one enemy. If my errand allowed it, I would wish to go with you and serve you in your cause, if we could hope to be of help to such doughty men. Let the light shine ever on your swords. Halflings are courteous folk indeed, whatever else they be. Farewell.
For they were bold to give Faramir such cheek.
Just checking. So, okay, so we're... I mean, I assume these hills are... These darkened mountains are the border. Getting close to Mordor. That's all I have to tell for now, my friend. Okay. Let's let's keep going. Find the ranger encampment. So that's still where we're headed. It's, although I feel like we're kind of there, maybe? Yeah, we're kind of there. A lot of rings going on. I almost wonder if I should make this my milestone. Again, I'll keep collecting these, but given these don't fit anymore, given how I've scaled this up. Let me make this my milestone. I don't know if Minas Tirith is now a place I can fast travel to, but it feels like it should be. Okay, just had to switch headphones. Let's see. Again, I got will, agility, might, take might. More stuff that I can't, oh, okay, forget that. I was about to say more stuff that I can't wear, but since I just dinged 105. Talk to Damrod at the camp of the hosts. I can now wear everything I've been collecting. Halflings and Oliphants. Again, I'm just grabbing whatever in case I'm out there doing stuff, and quests are up for grabs.
I greet you, friend.
Let's reforge these really quickly. Fantastic. Now, somewhere in here, though, is going to be... Okay, yeah, let's do it.
As he and the other rangers prepared a trap for the men of Harad at Kirith Negin, Mablung found his discussion with the halflings loudly interrupted. I spoke with the halflings for a time, and they asked much about me and my brethren.
What are your names and where are you from? I'm Mablung and my companion is Damrod. We are rangers of Ithilien. We are descended from a long line of folk who called these woods home, and Steward Denethor has charged us with its protection. We seldom roam this far within, but today we come to ambush the evil men from Harad. Curse the Haradrim. They are under the sway of the enemy. Alas, I fear that Gondor will fall. His strength and malice have grown great indeed, and there is little hope for Minas Tirith. But we do not sit idle. The Southrons march brazenly and heedlessly upon our own roads to swell the hosts of Mordor. They shall not pass unchallenged, not while Faramir leads our host. His life seems charmed, as if fate spares him for some greater end. Ooh, Sounds like the smithing of 1,000 blacksmiths altogether. This is as near as I should like to get them to get. They are coming. They have broken through the trap and our captain pursues.
Our trap had failed, for the Southrons broke through, his arrows flew above us. The great trumpet sounded as a Mumak rushed forth, and madness that slew all caught in its path.
Lumak, may the Valar save us and turn his path. I see Samwise. Where's Frodo? An Oliphant, so they exist, and I have gotten to see one. What a tale. Read the room, Samwise. A bunch of people just died. Well, no one shall believe me if I tell them. Phew. That's all over and done. I think I'll have a sleep. Sleep while you are able. If the captain returns, he will want to depart swiftly. The enemy will pursue us when the news reaches him. Oh, maybe Frodo's with Faramir. Go quietly when you leave. No need to disturb me. I doubt the captain will leave you unattended in the woods, Master Samwise, but we'll see.
I remained with the halflings as they slept and awaited my captain's return.
I will say this is not inherently interactive, but I actually prefer maybe this to, sometimes they give you control of some character you've never played before and you have a bunch of skills that you don't know what they mean and it doesn't really, it makes the gameplay part of it not really mean anything. In this one, with some nice voiceover, some sort of sepia effect on the visuals, it sort of conveys the story because that's what we're here for. I don't. And I'm sure most people would disagree with me on this, but probably like that more and wish going sort of backwards, that's how a lot of these were done. Okay. Reached acquaintance status. Okay, got some Lotro points. We're known to the host of the West. Fantastic. All right. Reputation change, of course, that's what triggered all of it. Perfect. Do you wish hear more of my tale? Okay, so new quest at the Forbidden Pool. So again, we're going back and forth hearing more of this story. I was just curious though where. Just wanted to find out where the book quest was because I feel like it should be here and I just don't know. Is it up a level and back? Or is this a way out? I don't even know which of these is actually the book quest at this point. Yeah, let's hear more of the tale.
Down beneath Henneth in the Forbidden Pool, Aragorn spied the Gangly creature last, and called upon his captain and the halflings to decide its fate. The Gangly creature had come to the Forbidden Pool, too close to Henneth.
We are discovered. My bow is at the ready, Captain. Shall we shoot, Master Baggins? No. No, I beg you, do not. So you knew what this thing is, I take it? Come and tell me why we should spare it. In all of our long talks together, you have not spoken of the gangrel, companion, and I have let it be. He has now done worse than trespass and poach an Ithilien. He has dared to come to the very door of Henneth Anun. Why does he come beneath our very window if it means his life is forfeit? He knows nothing of the ways of men, and I doubt he knows you're here. But also, it's unlikely that he's been drawn here by some mastering desire. Oh, it's likely that he's been drawn here by some mastering desire. The lure is stronger than his caution. Can he know of your burden? Yes, he bore it himself for many years. It's precious to him. I have him in my sight, Captain. Do I shoot? It is death by law to come unbidden to the pool. Not yet, Aragorn. This is a more difficult matter than it seems. Why should we spare him? Because he is hungry and wretched. And because Mithrandir himself would have forbade it as he forbade the elves to harm him. I do not understand why or how, but this creature has bounced my errand in some unforeseen way. He is our guide. Let me go down to him, as quietly as I can. You may shoot me if I fail. Very well. Aragorn, lead Frodo to the bank.
Arthur told his connection with the creature and offered to lead it to us.
I think it's been a while since we've seen... Well, anyway. Gollum. Go quickly and be careful. Unseen archers are poised to shoot at any sign of trouble. Only the calls of nearby birds break the silence at the forbidden pool. Have we seen Gollum? I feel like he must have come up at some point. Maybe we haven't in this game. I have no idea. Been a lot. Why must we trust, Master? Where's the other hobbit, the rude and cross one? Up ahead, be good, Smeagol, and follow me this way. If you do not come, the Precious will be very angry. In front now. What is it? Not a hobbit. Something is there. Nasty, wicked, tricksy master. Nasty, wicked, tricksy master. Hold still now or we'll stick you full of sharp arrows. Please be gentle with him. Smeagol, trust master. Smeagol.
Bound the creature and blinded him with a hood, lest he discover the way to Hennefan.
$153,000. Okay. The last I saw them until we parted ways in the forest. I can share what I remember. These memories will not soon... Okay, so we're going to hear more of the tale, I guess.
After returning to Hennefan, Faramir called for Aragorn to escort the gambling creature towards us, coming to the forbidden pool without permission. my lord's request, I goaded the kangaroo preacher forth to answer for his intrusion.
Let us go. We've done nothing wrong. Nothing. You've come to fish in the forbidden pool where it is death to come. We didn't know. We are only lost. Lost and hungry. We wanted nice fishes for an empty belly. Come here, and let me look at you. Do as he says, Smeagol. He will not hurt you. Trust me, and all will be well. Your mind is full of locked doors with shuttered windows behind them, but I judge that you speak the truth. You did not come here to present any threat to Gondor or Ithilien. What oath can you swear never to come back to this place or lead anyone hither? He swears it. Master knows. We will make our promise to the Master and to the Precious, never come again. This is a true promise, and if you cannot accept it, then you should carry out your law, but there is no greater oath he can make. Then I give you to your master, for him to declare your fate however he will. Thank you, but my lord, you have not yet given your judgment concerning said master. I say that you are free to go wherever you will in Gondor, you and your charges. You are under my protection. I place myself at your service, Captain Faramir. Thank you. Now, where does this creature plan to take you? I can answer if he will not. He took us to the Black Gate at my bidding, but we could not hope to enter there. Instead, we make for a path that is hidden supposedly near Minas Ithil. That is now called Minas Morgul. As you say, we will climb a high pass that leads through the mountains into the lands beyond. The pass, it is called Cirith Ungol, is it not? Answer, is that not the name of the place you are approaching? No. Yes, what is its name to us? Master tells us he must get in and Wheeze takes him. There is no other way. I wonder if there is no other way. Who could know that for certain? Take him away, Anborn. Be gentle with him, but watch him very closely.
I led the creature away, and he rested, but never did my eyes leave him.
That's all I recall. Okay, I can't fathom what could have passed between Captain Faramir and the Halfling to make my lord grant them free passage. Another 150k of experience. Okay, so there you go. I mean, it's... I don't mean to trivialize that. It's some nice story beats. It's basically... If you're fans of the books, you know all that already. Or if you've seen the movies, you've seen similar scenes. If you haven't, I guess it's good to have that filled in. Because what I was about to say, it's tricky. Like, do you really need to do that stuff? Like, do you need to... I imagine, here's the thing. I imagine most people that are this deep into this game are probably huge fans of the source material in some fashion. And so I think you're sort of between a rock and a hard place. If you don't do it, you're missing a chance for some fan service. If you do it, it is just fan service, right? Like, it's not essential to everything going on. I guess, I don't know. Why is this one not activated? Find the Ranger encampment at Henethanun. Okay, so let's make our way out. Maybe I'm missing something. So yeah, it's tricky because, for all intents and purposes, we don't need to be filled in about the secret plan. Quartermaster is probably going to be repeatable.
The Rangers will not surrender our skill.
Spooky Tuki, the Tired. Hobbit, level 111, a lore master. Hunter, I mean, sorry. Yeah, no, I actually have not been here yet.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Okay, we got that. Ready to go. It's a Rune Keeper, level 107. Again, still, it's very nice to see other players. Kind of lost track of what constitutes a quest and what doesn't. Okay, so somehow we're right here. Find the Ranger encampment. I've said before, I'm always a big fan of the Ranger encampments, like the one at Estelden, the one at outside of Numenos, which can't remember what it's called at the moment, but now I can't tell if the traps are here to catch animals for supplies or if they're here for warning. Oh, these things are not messing around. Now we have to collect 8 shimmering somethings from the toes. I'm curious if it's going to be like a, you definitely get it, or if it's going to be a, sorry, you got to actually kill 12 and the drop rate is this. a little lag on the input, unless it's something to do with the fact that I'm hallucinating from the frogs. I'm guessing Southron's crown is actually a plant. I don't claim to understand the mechanics of this game. It has been evident from the 5,000 hours you've watched of this, but I will say I appreciate there's something under the hood going on here where while these creatures have like a high morale of like nearly 12,000, they don't hit hard, so it's a relatively easy fight. Like, I like that, you know, higher morale doesn't necessarily equal tougher fight. You know, it really matters what the creature is and what it brings to the table. Not sure why this one's not firing off, though, Volume 4, Book 7. Because I found the camp. I was standing in it. Do I need to find it again from the outside, like going in, just to make sure I triggered the thing somehow? I don't know. I feel like there should be, I'm hoping there's more perfect trap locations as well, because I think I've gotten half of those. Just gonna pump up morale a bit because I was low and just see if I can more than catch up. I think I just screwed that up, but I think I'm in the positive now. Okay, we got that. So let's see if there's anything more to go do with the traps. And then maybe if we have to hand those back in, That'll trigger... finding the camp for the book quest. And you know, it's been good sort of... You know, it's these things I have to keep admitting to myself. Like, you know, just take your time. You know, just enjoy the ride. Don't feel like you have to rush to get to the next book quest, but I do feel like, you know, with a couple of sessions, I should be able to get through something. I shouldn't be doing like part 7 of the same volume 4, book 7, you know, so. Partly because, you know, it's a lot of time, but partly because I'm just very curious to see what happens next and see how they handle. I mean, that's the thing. I sort of know, obviously, what's going to happen next. I'm just very curious what that means, how they're going to handle it. Could it be on the other side of the... river? Boo, boo, boo. Okay. All right. What do we got? We got book 7. So yeah, it's telling us let's just follow the arrows. We've got 3 quests we can hand in. I can't remember if the King's Foil was here or... You realize you're being watched moments before a ranger emerges from hiding. If you are a scout for King Elisar's host, you have my welcome. It is my dearest hope that he intends to make such a racket as his army moves through Ithilien, for there are no foes that could fail to notice his progress hither. The ways of secrecy are ending. It seems King Elisar marches to Mordor in a great procession and with the sounding of trumpets. And so too must the rangers of Ithilien give up some of their secrets. Still, those ways do not go easily. From Henneth Anun we have harried many a foe, passing like shadows through the window of the sunset, and back again under cover of darkness. As you are a friend to the king and to Gondor, I say that you may see what you will of our secret retreat. Find the descending tunnel, the main cavern, and the lookout point. But I warn you, do not set foot into the forbidden pool. That is an insult to us, and we have never allowed it unpunished. Okay, so explore the descending tunnels. Okay, so now we're just going inside where, I mean, technically we've already been, but at least now it sort of worked. Again, I don't know how many chapters are in Book 7. The hidden path is narrow and treacherous and descends into the earth. The refugee of the Rangers is not luxurious, but it is comfortable enough. Explore the lookout point, I guess. The highest point. So there might be a higher. Can I go higher?
You help bear my burden, friend. Be wary, my friends. Evil spoils these crowds.
I might have just made this a one-time thing. You know, you use the bench and all 8 are covered, but so be it.
You help bear my burden, friend.
So, like, it's complicated. The highest point, you know, because we come down to get here, but the highest point is up here, but I don't know if that's going to count as a lookout point. I don't know if there is one up here. Can I go up? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I didn't even notice the other passage. From this vantage point, you can see the Forbidden Pool and much of the surrounding area. It is quite a view. I'm going to accept that just so it stops popping up. Okay, so talk to Aragorn outside Henethanun.
Enemies may remain hidden in the beauty of this land.
Our journey through the Ithilien has reassured me that it remains beautiful, but this sword cuts with both edges, for enemies can still lurk unseen among the pastoral beauty of the land. As the Rangers of Ithilien surprise their foes, so too can these foes seek to surprise us. Travel further ahead to the northeast and look for signs of trouble. Golaz Din tells me that there is a location to the northeast that might offer a good vantage point of the road ahead. Orndil, a ranger of Ithilien, went to that location and might have seen something. Not quite in the right spot, but I'm not 100% sure. There he is. Okay. The ranger Orndil nods at you to arrive as you arrive at his lookout spot. You spy movement to the northeast, but cannot tell for certain.
Did you see that?
I believe I saw movement over there among the trees to the northeast. Let us make our way there and see if our eyes place tricks on us or if there is some foe lying in wait. That is the path of Cirith Negin, and my people have long used it to surprise our foes. They may seek to turn the tables upon us and use our own ambush spot against us. Feels like that wouldn't work. I mean, you're aware of it, so why would you... Well, whatever. Let's go scout it out. Okay, so we're finding another lookout spot further to the northeast to double check. Enemy forces have recently passed through this location, but none remain. We might not actually need to do that. Maybe it's just enough to hit our marks. Orndil nods at you as you catch up with him. Orndil was right. There are signs that the enemy seeks to ambush Aragorn at Cirith Negin. Okay, talk to Aragorn at Henethanoon. We're making our way back.
The Rangers of Ithilien have spoken to me of that pass.
Okay, I guess we're doing this. Finish. Oh, this guy's not messing around. He's a signature, I assume. Aragorn's like, I'll just wait till you're done. When you're ready. It's a shame. I wonder what that call of the herd would have done. Okay. Thank you for the report. I wonder if our foes would seek to mount a final resistance to our march, and it seems as if they will attempt it at Cirith Negin. Negin? I said Negin before. The Rangers of Ithilien have spoken to me of that pass. They have often used it to surprise unwary foes, and it was there that they recently ambushed a marching force accompanied by a fearsome Mumak and drove the beast from the bonds of its handlers. The creature stampeded from Cirith Nagan and away from the war, and now there's no whisper of it. Will the orcs seek to do the same to the host of the West? They cannot be allowed to succeed at this.
We will need skill and stealth if we are to ambush the ambushers.
If we are to ambush the ambushers, we will need a small force of skilled hunters and trackers who can move stealthily through the woods unseen. Hethrandir, by the lookout point above the Forbidden Pool, will know which of the rangers of Ithilien will be best suited for this purpose. Some of my kin will want to take part in the adventure as well. Speak to Dagoras in the cave of Henethanun, and he will assemble these others. At some point I need to go through my quests, and like the, lose the war ever need you, I don't need that listed. I don't know where this stuff is, though. Got a lot of quests here that I can flat out hand in. We don't need that. Oh well. Anyway. The lookout point. We gotta go up there. Here's Hethradir, okay.
I will choose rangers in our plan to rock to this task.
Let me see. I have heard that a force of orcs and Easterlings seek to waylay King Elisar's army as he proceeds northward through the pass of Cirith Nagan. These monsters and their foul allies are monstrous fools if they can think to use our own tricks against it. Okay, again, like, these monsters are monstrous fools. You gotta... Whatever. This is the land of the moon, and many are the moons that have risen and set upon my life. Still I am here, Faramir's most loyal friend, and I will aid him until I breathe my very last. Younger men you will find, quicker perhaps, but none will know this land as I do. It is neither my lot nor my desire to lead in anything but this. I will lead our men into the woods and against our foes and back again. I will choose rangers of our band that are up to the task. Alright, and now we gotta go deeper, I think, to find Dagoras. I'm no stranger to errands of secrecy, and I know that neither are you. There was once a time when I would say we could have handled this ambush by ourselves, but there is wisdom in being prepared. I will find others of my people who wish to help, and we will have greater chances of success if they are beside us, on secret feet. Battle on the open plain is very different from forest fighting. I will not say it will be a relief to engage in the latter once again, but every man of the company has seen enough of the former by now to last him until the end of his days. Legolas looks at you with a raised eyebrow and hurt expression. Yeah, what about me?
I hope you were planning to ask me to join on this or not.
I don't want to be left out of such an adventure. Perhaps Aragorn asked for me by name, and you thought he asked for Dagoras instead? Legolas laughs, a musical sound. I will gladly accompany you to ambush the ambushers, my friend. Tell me when you are ready, and we can leave.
Let us make our plans and then depart for Cirith Nagan.
Well, first, where are we going? Oh, okay. It hasn't marked it up yet. Okay, in that case, yeah, let's just jump in. Let's have Legolas take us.
Let us make our plans and then depart for Cirith Nagan.
Orcs and Easterlings have set a trap for the host of the West, but now we seek to foil the ambush before it can be sprung.
Okay, so talk to Gimli north of Cirith Nagan. Do not get too close. before the Rangers are in position. Gimli must not be defeated. Okay. We've come the long way around Cirith Negan, Black Lodge, and now we are in a position to surprise the orcs and Easterlings before they can attack Aragorn's host. We will descend upon them in full-throated fury and send them screaming back to their own lands or to death. Accompany Gimli as he quietly dispatches the enemy picket. No, Gimli. We must maintain our secrecy and remain quiet as we approach. What? But Gandalf said he wanted us to make noise. You cannot expect me to charge into battle without a battle cry, Legolas. The orcs will have a picket north of the pass. You and Black Lodge need to defeat them, silently. Maybe you could whisper your battle cries, Gimli. Whisper? Rumph. Alright, let us find these enemy pickets, quietly. Orcs are close. Very good. So what's sort of weird is I feel like the reverb from being in the cave is still in effect, like it's a sound glitch. I think we've been unnoticed so far. What's sort of messed up is that I have higher stats, at least higher morale, than Gimli. That feels off. One, because I imagine he's sort of a guardian kind of class, or, well, maybe not. No, he doesn't stand there and tank it. Maybe he's more like a champion. There are foes nearby. But it just feels like these people are heroes of Middle-earth, but, you know, maybe there's a logic to it. It's not like they're Supermen, they're just heroes. Someone else approaches. This is no enemy, it's the Ranger Daggeras. The Rangers are in position, and so too are the elves. Now we just need someone to give the signal to attack. Why don't you walk down the road behind Cirith Negan and let our enemies know that they have been outmaneuvered. The time for stealth is over. Now that we are ready to launch the attack. Your attack will be the signal for the rest of us. Finally, no more sneaking around. Let's go, Black Lodge. It's sort of interesting. They put it into the mission, like you can't get too close to this, you can't do that until the Rangers in position, but I feel like that was never going to be an issue because it's sort of... Let that be a warning to the foes. Well fought, etc. Well done, Gimli. You were as quiet as anyone should have expected, my friend. The threat has passed. We have victory. The enemy has been dispersed and will no longer pose a threat to the hosts of the West. Thank you for your heroism. I must thank your friend Gimli as well, both for the swing of his axe and the stillness of his tongue during our approach. I know that dwarves enjoy to bellow, and keeping his quiet must not have been easy. We have all done a service for Aragorn this day. I'm glad to have made the road safe for the host. Let us return to Aragorn and report of our success. Thanks to our efforts and those of our friends, the host of the West will now be able to proceed safely through Cirith Nagin, and yet my mind turns over and over upon an idea that will not leave me in peace. We foiled the ambush and dispersed our foes, true, but does it seem to have been too easy? Certainly our friends in Ithilien have ambushed many foes from that spot with success, but this effort on the part of the orcs and the Easterlings does not seem to have had any real chance of victory. Their force was too disorganized to cause us any trouble. Indeed, it seems to me that even had we stumbled unknowingly into the trap, we still might have survived to rout our foes. Will you mention my concerns to Aragorn? There's something peculiar in all of this. Oops. Alright, so I think we're gonna... I assume head out to convey that to Aragorn?
Dagras is troubled by the ease with which the ambush was upset.
Yeah, there you could hear it quite clearly, like reverb, like we're still in the cave. Dagras is troubled by the ease with which the ambush was upset. I think there's an answer for that, though it may not soothe his worries. I deem that the chief purpose of that ambush was to encourage us to keep on our course, to draw us on with a false estimate of the enemy's weakness. If it did cause us harm, so much the better, but I think it unlikely that it was intended to do anything other than to feint at our strength and bring us on with confidence.
Go to Bar Tarnahel and learn what the Rangers know of the road ahead.
Do not let my assessment challenge your resolve, my friend. That the enemy believes he has us at a disadvantage means that he prepares to seize the bait and fall into the trap we have set for him. We must not give him any sign that his real danger lies elsewhere, or we will endanger more than our own lives. All of Middle-earth will be at risk. And so, we continue. There's a tower to the northwest of Heneth Anun, a ruin called Bar Tarnahel. From there, the Rangers of Ithilien have launched many strikes upon the orcs. Go with Legolas and Gimli to Bar Tarnahel and learn what the Rangers at that place know of the road ahead. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so it's all the way up there. What's the best way? We can take the road. Is it better to cut along the river and then up? I might try that. I don't think I've been over Scars of Pelennor. Yeah. So we want to go west along the river? To the road, but I think there's like a giant waterfall there, right? Or is that all the way? Oh, let's give it a shot. No, it's right there. Okay, let's see how this works. I think that's the mountain we're trying to get around. So I think we have to go the other way. Okay. Let's do it. Now, technically speaking, I think this is the pool we're not supposed to go into, but I wonder... Like, do they instantly kill you, or I wonder what they would do. Arrows of a ranger make protrude from the flesh of this orc. All right. We're going to keep on the river. And then make our way up. Mordor Searcher. That's gonna... Let's deal with that one, because I think that will help with one other quest. Something just to the southeast of me that... So whatever that is right there, is that part of the grip of Mordor? Oh, that's just defeat orcs. Okay. I feel like the road should... Ooh, what's down there? I feel like the road should be coming up, though. The lowlands to the west of Henneth Anun are still, but your foes have passed through recently. I'm going to grab these, but I'm probably not going to do them. Is Vetchling one, or? Yeah. I don't think I grabbed all of his quests. Let me just make sure. Okay, so I just need one more lush ox lip, and then, for whatever it's worth, this one's done. Now for the seeds, I'm gonna guess you just want the regular horsetail. Let me see.
Let us help you bring glad tidings, friend.
I guess it's really throwing me off with the reverb from the cave just being applied blanket everything. So let's continue on the road. Scars of the Pelennor. Losing track of what everything is, to be honest with you. did seem to reset the audio a second ago, so I guess that's good. Okay, so collecting the horse tail doesn't necessarily give you the seed, so I'm not sure. Ah, it didn't trigger. All right. I was trying to let myself take some shots to trigger Never Surrender, and now it's out for the next 5 minutes. But, I mean, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, but... What's new life? Oh, okay. Okay, I think I want to cross the bridge. I think that's, I want to keep following the road, so... I wanted to go this way. I thought it was going to be a little bit more direct. Obviously, the waterfall sort of threw that into disarray, but then I decided I was going to stick with it because, I just hadn't been over here. And... seemed to be speeding through a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure... I saw a little bit more. Oh, shit. Okay. I want to take the other fork. Let's try this again. Does this count as a cat? No. All right. Supposedly there's a road here, but I'm not really seeing it. Unless I'm hallucinating, but it feels like there's a road there on the main map and I'm not seeing... It's weird that these don't count as the cats. I mean, I guess it does specify ravenous battle cats, but still. Oh, that's the reason why it doesn't count is because that's not a cat. It's a... Well, the prowlers are wolves, I guess. Legolas motions for you to halt, and his eyes search the sky.
The Nazgul are flying above us, out of sight. I feel their presence.
Thought I heard something high above us, and I felt a shadow pass across my heart. I know this feeling. It was on the banks of the Anduin that I felled one of the flying beasts. It must have proved only an inconvenience for its terrible rider, for I know their number and all were seen on the Pelennor. The Nazgul are flying above us just out of sight. They watch the progress of Aragorn's host as it moves north toward Dagorlad. Gimli and I, and you, know of these creatures, but we know also that they can be fought. Not all of Aragorn's soldiers may believe this, and I fear that such feelings of dread as the Nazgul inspire will grow in the breast of each man. Oh. Level 110 Hunter. How do you do? Will their loyalty hold, or will the fear of Sauron's servants cause them to break ranks and flee as cowards? My father does not think highly of man, but I have seen your own courage and that of Aragorn. And it teaches me that perhaps he underestimates your people. Bregaras motions to you. So having trouble reading the text against the background. There's something up there watching us even now. I don't like the sound of that. Bregaras shudders and scans the sky for some sign of Nazgul but can see nothing. He sighs heavily and shakes his head. At Faramir's instruction, his rangers placed hidden caches of supplies throughout Ithilien. It seems to me that we should retrieve these supplies, for the time of the rangers is surely coming to an end. If King Elisar finds victory or defeat at the Black Gate, there will be little need for such caches in the woodlands. Find the hidden supply caches east and north of Bar Tarnaher and bring them back here, and we can distribute their contents among King Elisar's soldiers. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we want to head to the north. You become aware that Gimli has been trying to capture your attention.
The soldiers that came with us have become increasingly troubled.
Unreth of Rohan and Maegor of Gondor, well, they've become increasingly more and more troubled as the day wore on. I've given some thought to how I might ease their minds, but my skill is with axes, not with speechcraft. Perhaps you can do something to ease their worries?
I will die for Gondor if I must, but I do not want to die needlessly.
I'm no coward, but I have to ask if there is any wisdom in this march to Mordor. I would serve King Elisar in all things and do whatever he is to command, but I fear that he does not know what it is he asks of us. I thought his host was of a goodly size when we marched through Osgiliath, but now that we have crossed into the wild, I see that it is smaller than I thought at first. It can be no match for the armies of Mordor. I will die for Gondor if I must, for Gondor to survive, but I do not want to lay down my life needlessly. If this march is folly, and as I deem it to be, how can it be the king's command? How will 6,000 fallen soldiers at the Black Gate save Gondor? Cannot. It cannot. His courage fails and he looks to you for reassurance.
If we do not seek victory, why then must we throw our lives away?
I am a man of Rohan and I will do as Éomer King commands, but my resolve is tested with every step toward the Black Land of Mordor. Is it true that our commanders do not hope to achieve victory through battle? Why then must we throw our lives away? I would do anything for the mark, and gladly, but would it not be better to take these soldiers and man in a strong defense of Minas Tirith? There are strongholds in Rohan at which we could last for years if need be. I fought at the Hornburg and am well tested by the battle that was fought there. An unnatural dread seizes my heart, but there is more to this than I fear. I cannot believe that Éomer King or King Elisar of Gondor would so easily throw their lives away, and ours with them. How can this be their choice? You know what, let's cut through the north. I feel like we'll hook around the north side of the hill. We're going to skip that Warband Keeper thing. Really gorgeous terrain here. It's an interesting contrast to what's just on the other side. And I think, and I know I said this before, they managed to make even sort of like similar things look different enough to still sort of capture my imagination and to sort of let me know I'm not where I was. It's not like, it doesn't feel copy paste. Again, this is the thing that always breaks my heart about sort of just going for the main quests and foregoing some of the rest, because clearly there's all sorts of things that I'm missing. Like, I'm sure this is not just a place to kill raiders. There must be something else going on here. Maybe it's not, but... Looks like 3. What do you think? Give it a shot? Why not? screwed that up. Oh, that could have gone worse. It wasn't great. But I think having the archers... See how ugly this gets when the captain jumps in. Oh no, he didn't do it. Okay. Getting some, seemed like I was getting some input lag there at the end, so I'm a little... Alright, let's see... Oh, shoot. Gotta do something, dude. But, no, fucking... It's all over the place. Okay, I gotta pop this. Pop this. Just fucking terrible lag. Jesus, holy shit. Yeah, it's just, it got, well, I don't know if it was lag, but whatever my inputs were, they were not registering correctly. I was missing half my gambits, and when you know, you can't afford to miss anything. How many do I need? I need 7 more. I need to stick the archer. That was one problem. trying to give each one like a bit more of a beat before I hit the next one of the gambit. Seems to be helping a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get out of here because I feel like I'm going to hit a couple on my way out, and then I'm sure I'll encounter one in the wild. Or maybe it won't hit one on the way out. Entering the nomad lands of the wastes.
Gondor needs your aid.
Level 108 burglar. Oh, nice. Always happy to see burglars. 110 hunter. That's the one I've been seeing around. I feel like we're starting to see the real front lines. Aemir. And just some collective... I do have to talk to Aragorn, right? Yeah. Nope. Don't want to do that. Take heart, men of Gondor. Black Lodge, while those of faint of heart have departed, I feel we must do something for the men who remain. They have lost so much already, and this may be our last true chance to bolster the spirits before we move into the enemy's territory. I would have you speak with Lord Golaskill. With so few lords of Gondor left, I will need him to bear more of the burden of leadership. I know he will show a brave face in front of his men if I ask of it of him. So I want to hold off here because this is not... As you just saw, that's the beginning of Book 8. I don't want to start Book 8, obviously. I still need to finish Book 7. But I've made it to the Wastes. I have a feeling this is where we're going to be heading next. Let's follow... Oops, I run into trees and stuff. Let's follow the road to the south and then head east around the hill. I think that should make us hit some of these things, whatever they might be. Maybe that'll get us a few more quests checked off that... I don't know. Again, that's not going to count as a cat, so we'll skip it. You know, I wonder, it's way too late now. I mean, or nothing's too late. I could do whatever I want, obviously. But I wonder if, like, if I had taken an approach a little more like what I've sort of arrived at with my Skyrim playthrough at the same time, is that, like, you know, you... Oh, they count. All right. You know, you take care of business. You know, there's the main story quest. That's back to being reverbed. But then, you know, you do sort of one for them, one for you, so to speak, like the old Hollywood actors slogan. You know, you spend a session or two, whatever. You work on the book quest, and then you just do some like chill in the area and just no, you want to spend a session or whatever just looking around, doing side questing, you know, go for it. I'd probably make this whole endeavor last about 14,000 sessions, but oh shoot. All right. Oh. Okay, so I don't think I need to do anything else in here. All right, just a cool 150k in terms of experience for killing 20 of those things. Not bad. I wonder if it's just when I get in proximity of like this mountain, does it just automatically kick in the reverb for no reason? Oh, did he get caught out in the... Yeah, the troll was caught in the sunlight as the dawnless day faded. Level 104 champion. Very nice. Again, champion was not one I was able to
What did you learn at Bartanaher, my friend?
really get the hang of. What'd you learn at Bar Tanaher, my friend? Tarnaher. You tell Aragorn that the Nazgul fly high above the clouds and out of sight, but they are keeping pace with the host. You tell him, too, that their fearful presence and the nature of the mission itself is having an effect upon his soldiers, sapping them of their courage. I've noticed this as well. I cannot blame these men if their hearts quail at the thought of this painful mission. I will not willingly command them to throw their lives away for the merest of chances, though I know how important that chance may be. Find soldiers here at Henneth Anun and see if you can reassure them. Must we march to the Black Land? Is there no other way? I fear for my courage, but I will stand my ground. I will do my best to carry on. From where does your bravery spring? Well, let me do this one again. I do not know if I have your courage, but I will try. Your words reassure me. I thank you for that. I'm going to go down just in case. Like, I don't know if some of these quests I've done I can actually just hand in here if they were somewhere else, or I have no idea. I've completely lost track. I assume this was the King's Foil. So, I have a bunch of armor that I can now wear, and I feel like I should be getting it done. Let's sort. I don't know if this stuff is necessarily better. I'm watching my morale drop from 23 something to 20 just by upgrading my equipment here. I mean, I assume, I guess maybe once I got all my ancestry, the tracery, or whatever the shit that is, maybe it would change it, but I feel like that's not all the armor, though. I feel like I should have more. I mean, my armor is definitely going up. So that's got to be worth something. But, feels, I mean, I feel like they want me to have all of this tracery potential armor for what comes next. I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Again, like, I don't know what's going on here. I can't get stupid shit out of the bag. Oh, again, because it's not clicking. That's because it's not clicking where it should go. Okay, so let's start adding shit to shit here and see what happens. These are all like minor essences. Let me see. I feel like I should be at the point where I'm... Okay. I wonder if it matters what you apply it to. Getting a lot of morale and I'm getting a lot of agility. Agility is going to help with my crits. Morale is obviously... Okay. Guess I can just finish off with more agility. So I got my morale most of the way back. What I should do is if I have like reclamation, which I don't see. I don't know how these work. Select a target for this, so I guess that's my weapon. I don't even care. Okay. Do I have any reclamation stuff? That's sort of what I need here. That's for legendary items. I need essences, not... Okay, who cares? Okay, let's sell some stuff off.
I greet you, friend.
I don't want to sell this kind of stuff because I'd like to be able to get those essences back before I sell it. That's a good start, I guess. I hope in the future there's something that can be done about this. This seems like it should be easier to sell from the carry-alls. Especially since it's hard to actually have it mouse over the correct spot. So let's Okay. All right. I feel like I've done a decent job finally. Okay. Apologies for that. Okay, so we've talked to everybody to bolster their resolves. Let's go back and talk to Aragorn outside. So this session's running a little longer than I would like, but I feel like I must be close. If I'm seeing like book 8 already in the next area, so I feel like I must be close, but
Thank you for your efforts, my friend.
I've given some thought to the problem of what to do if more men prove faint of heart as we approach Mordor. It will soon be put to the test, I think. Let us move forward along the road north of the border of Dagorlad. We will establish a camp at the wood's edge and make ready for the final leg of the march to Mordor. I will speak with you at our camp on the border of Dagorlad when we arrive. So I'm assuming that's the next. Okay.
How may I help you, friend?
What is this called? Aragorn's camp. Yeah, I don't know how to get to the next map. Because I feel like I should be able to... This feels like it's on the battlefield. Let's do Camp of the Host.
We are close to the black land of Mordor now.
May our courage not desert us, and may our friends have the chance they need, though it cost us our lives.
I want to keep Sauron's eye focused on us for as long as we can.
I do not expect us to find victory through battle, but still I want to keep Sauron's eye focused on us for as long as we can. To that end, it would not do for the host to be attacked before we can attain the Black Gate. I ask that you scout ahead and learn what threats may lie in wait for us as we approach the Morannon. I suggest that you bring 2 of my rangers with you, Fairon for his stealth and Mincham for his understanding of the Black Speech. Together, the 3 of you may learn much that one alone could not. You should find them to the south and to the east of the hillock. Ask them if they will accompany you on this mission, and bear this command in mind. You are not to get too near to the Black Gate. What's Legolas up to?
We will do our part for Frodo and Sam.
Okay, so he wants me to scout a little bit. I'll take it. Why not?
I will do as Aragorn commands, though it bring us onto the blasted plain.
The blasted plains of Dagorlad, where long ago a great battle was fought. I'm no stranger to such places of evil, as you know. We will learn what we can and then return to tell Aragorn what lies before the host. It would be folly to do otherwise. What's Damrod up to?
We need your help if we are to fight the enemy.
It's like, you received my message. Introduction to the Wastes. Talk to Mal Blung at the camp of the host. Okay. feel like I'm missing... Okay, so this guy wants me to collect kegs of ale and gather soldiers. So you're seeing like tons of input delay on that one. You know, I can't tell if the input delay is worse than like in the early like original Angmar levels. Like, is it something that's unique to the later stuff? Because it's been so long since I've done the original Angmar that I can't remember. It just sort of is like, is this in support of my theory that the game is sort of collapsing under its own weight to some small degree, the further it goes. Which again is not a fair... not a fair assumption to make, because I don't understand programming. I don't know shit about anything. Lag's always been an issue. But there's only one way to find out. Fresh run. Level 126 Hunter, nice. It's good to see you. Damrod sent you. There is indeed much to do before we can be sure the path to the Mor-Renan, the Black Gate of Mordor, is clear and free. Alright, find the source of the howling sound. Alright, thank you. Toast. Or cheer. Let's toast. We will celebrate their lives and the bravery that saved Gondor from the wretched evil, and we will face this same evil with joy in our hearts, for we know we fight in their name and the name of Gondor. A toast. For Hiraluin, for Forlong, for Gondor. For Gondor! Okay. So is that the... I don't know if that's the end of it. I don't know if I should be doing something else. or if it just needs time. I guess let me try cheering as well, just in case I have to do both. Nope. Okay. Forlong had a song that he loved, and he was rather pushy about everyone singing it before the Battle of Pelennor Fields, as was his way. Well, now I too shall be pushy about singing it. I'm sure that you all remember it. He made sure of that, a song that makes the heart yearn for adventure. Who will join me in a round? When o'er the mountain sun comes rising, with stirring heart and restless feet, I'll find myself this home despising, and yearn for distant lands to meet. I'll fly away, I will not stay, seeking fortune, love, and war. Should I be singing? I'll fly away and further roam, but I will never turn back home. No, I shall wend back there no more. No more, no more, no more, no more. All right. Nice. All right. What I still need to do is I still need to find this guy. Okay, he's up there. I guess maybe I was heading deeper into it. I needed to head back toward the original. That was Peregrine.
Be warned, there will not be much cover on the plains of Dagorlad.
I will go with you onto the plains of Dagorlad and scout ahead of the host, but be warned, there will not be much cover in that place, and we may be exposed to unfriendly eyes. I'll take all my stealthy arts to keep us safe, but I will do what I can. One moment, if you would.
Wait a moment, if you would.
Legolas removes a small packet from within the folds of his cloak and holds it out to you. Mincham tells me that you and Faron will be leaving to scout the slag hills of Dagorlad in advance of the host. That'll be dangerous. There's little cover on that battle plain. Take this packet of herbs with you. It was given to me by Mandan before the ships docked at Harland, and I have been carrying it around since then as a memento, for Mandan fell upon Pelennor. The herbs within are foul-smelling when burned, which was true of most of Mandan's poultices, to speak honestly. If you need to draw the attention of an enemy, it might serve you well. I want you to have it. If Mandan's gift can help you this day, he would want it as well. All right. Talk to Aragorn.
I trust you, Fyron, and Mincham, as I would trust no others.
All right. Thank you for your undertaking of this mission. Dagorlad is an inhospitable land, and it will be difficult to remain unseen, but I trust you, Fyron, and Mincham, as I would trust no others. Speak to me when you're ready to depart.
Remember, do not get too close to the Black Gate. I will not lead the host of the West into Dagorlad without knowing what awaits us. I have sent trustworthy friends to scout before us on the battle plain.
All right, where are we? Shit, there's the Black Gate. We're in it, boys. This is it. We're there. We have picked our way across the tumbled stones and parched dust of Daggerlad, but all we have found is an inhospitable land. None live here, for what man could? The orcs keep watch on this place, for it lies on the border of their master's fell country. Bayron has gone ahead to see what lies beyond the ridge. When he returns, we will turn back and tell Aragorn what we have seen, a dead land, watched by his enemies, through which we must pass nonetheless. The fields of Fornost are so far away now, but this place brings them back to mind. Ah, Byron returns. Mincham, Blacklodge, we don't have much time. From the top of the ridge I could see a good distance, and I marked the movement of many orcs crawling hither and yon across the plain, but near at hand a great tower rises from the rocks and spies the approach. I know the place from Aragorn's maps. It is Narcost, one of the towers of the teeth. As I watched, a door in the tower opened and a great patrol of orcs marched out on some mission. They made for Mordor, but if we hurry, we might be able to enter the tower before they return. We might learn something of value for Aragorn, but we must seize the chance while we have it. Once the orcs return, the opportunity will be lost. Hurry. Quickly, this way, before the orc patrol returns. I'm not on camera, so you can't see, but my mouth was literally hanging over. That was... Obviously, this is it, right? This is the culmination of everything. Lord of the Rings Online, the books, everything culminates in this. And that did not fail to disappoint. That was really impressive. Really impressive. You know, I've been kind of meh about little things Minas Tirith. I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. It might disappoint, who knows, but like, they've knocked so much out of the park, and that, you know, I have the same expectations for Mordor. Like, even like Minas Tirith, like they knocked out of the park. It's just I found it irritating to try and go up and down. I would not have been able to forgive myself if we let this chance pass untaken. But now that we are inside, my resolve wavers. Let us learn what we can and then depart. If there are any secrets to be found that will be of value to Aragorn, they will be on the upper levels of the tower. We must make our way upwards, but do not be seen by any of the guards that still lurk within. It's important that our passage remains unnoticed. Mincham and I will follow in the shadows. You must find a way to reach the upper levels of the tower without being seen. Do not approach the guards or we will all be imperiled. Okay, let's see how this goes. If only there was a way to draw the guards out of our path without being seen. I assume I can dump the herbs into the bonfire. Someone there? Something smells. So we're like, holy shit, that smells awful. They're like, hell yeah, lunch. The Rangers move quickly, eager to be done with this evil place. Do you hear that? Voices ahead. Hold, friends, and keep silent. Kogath the Render. I hear foul mutterings ahead, and know them for what they must be, the vile black speech used by creatures of Mordor. It is a language I have learned to understand, though the study pained my ears and my heart both. Let us move closer, and I will try to translate the words for you, and Faerun. Remain still out of sight. We must not be noticed, or I feel we will not leave this tower alive.
Moldangu Barsanzur?
What will be done with Eorzin the Wily?
Mokosatam Fikars.
His title was poorly chosen. He was not wily enough to outwit the upstart king. I heard him begging for another chance. He will not have it. I have sent him to Undun. Will any others seek to ambush the army of Gondor? I could do much better than Eorzin or Gaz. No, the Master wants the army of Gondor to continue its march. What? How can this be? Those are my orders, and that means they are yours now. The upstart king is to be allowed to come to the gate. The Master has plans for him. Sounds below you in the tower signal the returns of the orc. Mincham, Black Lodge, we need to leave. Mincham's study of that foul language has borne fruit, and we have learned what we can. The armies of Mordor have orders to allow Aragorn to come to the gate. What terrible fate does the enemy have in mind for the host of the West? I hope Aragorn finds this knowledge useful, but now we must need to escape from this place and return to his camp. We can no longer stay here. We have to get out of here. Sorry, I had to pop up. Throat lozenge. My voice is really starting to go.
I am glad you have returned in safety. What can you report of the Slag Hills?
I'm glad to see you've returned in safety, and so too have Faerun and Mincham. What can you report of the Slag Hills? Aragorn's eyes widen in disbelief when you tell him that you seized upon a chance opportunity to enter Narcost, but he nods with grim satisfaction when you report what you heard within. So this gambit has proven itself. Sauron believes I have the ring and all of his attention is focused upon the hosts of the West. He's fallen for the trap. Now everything depends on Frodo. To be continued in Volume 4, Book 8, The Black Gate. Yeah, again, this must have really been at a time when, you know, they were getting the story out as they could. Oh, whoops. Again, like, it's just like, what's the point? You know, filling all these essences. Do we want might, vitality, critical rating, agility, vitality, critical rating, or will? I'm going to go with, I'm going with might. I'm going to stick with might.
The only hope of victory lies with Frodo, but we still have a part to play.
But we still have a part to play in this great struggle, Black Lodge. I asked Darevun to prepare the men for departure, for I believed it might take longer than expected for the hosts of the West to set out upon this last march. Heavy are the feet that dread the approaching road, but still they must step one before the other. Look for Darevun, where the northward road departs from the camp, my friend, and ask him if the men are ready to leave. And that, where we will pick it up next time. What's this? Idle hands. I count myself. It is with great sadness that I could not tend them all. Is he saying go back to Minas Tirith? Yeah, return to the House of the Healing and speak with the healer, Yorith. Ensure that she keeps Galathir's ruinous tinctures. Okay. Oh, so they're trying to get you back to Minas Tirith if you want for a little more adventure. I should be good. I've got like so many quests. Like, I don't even know how to... I mean, it'd be worth a little XP. I mean, it's done, so I don't know. You know what I should do? I should make this my new milestone. Let me just hand some of this stuff in. I don't know where some of this stuff is.
The earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul. Be wary, my friends. Evil spoils these grounds.
Yeah, I was about to say, why isn't it like that guy should have been cut to pieces, but okay, so we got that. That objective is too close, okay.
The earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul.
Anyway, okay, so let's do this. I'm just sort of whipping around really quickly. And what I should do is, like, I'm exhausted. This has been a really long day. And I should...
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith? Shame you couldn't see it in better days.
Yeah, so the day I recorded this, this is going to go up late spring, if not, bordering on summer. But this was recorded in mid-April, and wife went out of town. It was, I had the privilege of, having a weekend with my daughter, but she was very busy. So with a lot of schoolwork. So, she had to get up early on the weekend, on Saturday. So I got up early with her, and, I had the house to myself. So I did like a big session of Skyrim. A lot of fun. And then she came back, we hung out, but then she had to get back to work. I felt terrible. But I was like, okay, well, I need to be able to jump up and down at a moment's notice in case she needs a hand with anything. So I've been doing this whole Lord of the Rings session today. So I've done 2 pretty long sessions, and that's part of why my voice is just completely shot. And if I'm lucky, I will get the chance to do it all again tomorrow. But we'll see. What else can we do? Yeah, it's too close, but I don't know exactly where. But, and all of this comes on the heels of, I don't know if I said this during the Skyrim, but I was up, my brother and I co-op CRPGs all the time, and we usually spend one evening on a weekend where we end up staying way too late. And, so yeah, I was up really late, playing Digital Gloomhaven. So as far as the CRPG nerd stuff goes, this was a really good weekend. I feel bad that, my poor daughter had to work so much, but it's fucking crazy. High school. I got high school was not when I could not get, I've probably said this before, I could not get into college now. Yeah, it's really insane what we put our kids through. So I think I might have done what I can. So let's teleport back. But yeah, it was just, so I'm really, got up at 7:30 in the morning. It's now 12:30 at night. Did a 3.5 hour session of Skyrim. This session here has taken hours. And around all the, sort of the fun stuff with my daughter when she had the time. But, yeah, just brutal what we do to kids. It's really insane. Anyway. Yeah, so this is Black Lodge Trivia Night. I'm Art. This is our Lord of the Rings online book quest run. I really feel like we're at least getting done with the things that occur in the book, the main plot of the book. I don't know what happens after that. So we might not be that far from finding out. Yeah, but if you're watching this, you found our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, click the notification bell, comment, do whatever you want if that's your thing. Regardless of what you do or don't do, we appreciate everybody who checks this stuff out. We always do. We're mainly a tabletop RPG actual play podcast, and to that effect, check out all the systems we have, the games, we have discussions. If you prefer audio versions of any of that stuff, just search for Black Lodge Trivia Night wherever you get your audio, and your podcasts, we should show up. Otherwise, yeah, we'll be back with more Lord of the Rings, more Skyrim. Hopefully, we're still doing some Pathfinder Season of Ghosts when this goes up. And either way, yeah, I hope you're doing well. And thank you again for checking this out. We appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.